What's going on, everybody? It's Fragged Out, Swagged Out, and you already know why I'm here. Listen, I have one of those breaking news, hot off the press, brand new fragrance from a brand new fragrance house. The fragrance house is RDZ Parfums, and their new fragrance is Leyenda 21 or Leyenda 21, depending on how you feel like saying it, I guess. They did reach out to me, asked me if I wanted to sample this. I said, go ahead. Let's see what we're doing here. And, you know, just like any other time, if a fragrance house sends me a fragrance, I'm not saying anything I don't want to say. You can't send me a bottle with notes that tell me what to say. If I don't like the fragrance, I just don't do a review. So the fact that I'm here doing this is good. This is good. If you love compliments, you're going to love this. If you don't care about compliments, you'll still like it. But I opened this at my boy's house last night. I got it out the mailbox. I was headed out to a get together, and I opened it just to get an opinion, and I sprayed it. As I passed by people, walking over to the people I was going to ask, I would stop and I was like, yo, what is that? It was this. It's Leyenda 21 fire fragrance. Everyone who smelled it last night loved it, which really let me know, like, this is definitely worth talking about, sharing, because the feedback has been positive. And once I let it, do its thing on my skin, I was really feeling what's going on here. So the Leyenda 21, the name of it itself, it's inspired by Roberto Clemente, legendary Puerto Rican baseball player, 13 years All-Star, 15 years All-Star game, first Caribbean Hispanic player to ever be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. So a lot of accolades there. So any fragrance that's made to capture that career, that individual, it's gonna have to be good. So let's see what's in the fragrance. We'll look at the notes really quick. The notes are gonna be green grass, patchouli, rose, musk, vetiver, amber, bergamot, cedar, sandalwood, and saffron. So a lot of the notes that I typically already gravitate to, with that saffron, with that vanilla, that patchouli, that rose, that amber, that bergamot, we're already bumping. And that sandalwood, it had a lot of stuff that I loved off the bat, but it had something that had me kind of, and it was that green grass and that vetiver. I was watching that, like, if this green grass and that vetiver do this thing that they can tend to do when they operate together and create this very sharp green kind of note, I just don't enjoy that on my skin. And I am pleasantly surprised to say that it didn't do that at all. In fact, I don't really get too much green in here at all. So I don't get that. Oh, like, is there something kind of fresh, green-ish? Perhaps. But I think that vanilla and that saffron are giving this additional sweetness that doesn't allow it to do what grass wants to do on my skin. It gives it this really nice, fruity opening. Kind of sweet, kind of juicy. It feels like there's a fruit that they're not saying is in here, because it's something that I'm really enjoying. And I'm looking at the notes, I'm like, I don't see that particular thing. And it could be the bergamot with that grass and that rose that are creating this almost fruity accord. Because the rose is here. You definitely get a touch of that, a very sophisticated type of rose, but it's not overly rosy. So in conjunction with those other things, it might be creating this sort of fruity, lighter accord that I'm really, really, really enjoying. So that opening, bright, juicy, sweet, mass appealing for sure. I mean, everyone in the crib was like, yo, that's fire. Taking pictures of the bottle, looking up the website. It's good. And people are going to enjoy it. But more importantly, when you put it on, you're going to enjoy it. Now, that's the opening. That's going to last for a little while, because that's exactly what I got until I got home. But as it starts to dry down, and I put this on earlier, just trying to time it out with this review, what happens in the dry down, it becomes darker. It becomes a little more dense, a little heavier, more bass in there. That sandalwood, that cedar, that patchouli really come up. And it's dressed up a little by the rose. So it gets a little fancier, it gets a little more grown up. It goes from a very kind of flirty daytime fragrance to a more darker, sophisticated type of fragrance. But it still does allow that vanilla and that amber to take part of what the dry down is going to be. Just that you are going to get a little darker, woodier fragrance as it dies down. And that saffron over those woods really allow it to get this sweeter, woody kind of essence to it that I absolutely love. The entire wear of this fragrance is positive, whether it's that opening that's bright and fruity on my skin as it transitions and gets a little darker to you getting to that kind of patchouli, woody, vanillic base, still sprinkled with that saffron that just make it amazing for a date night fragrance. This is hitting hard on all levels. Now, am I saying that because the perfumer is Puerto Rican? No. Am I happy to say that he is? Absolutely. Am I saying that because this fragrance is made and inspired by the legend of Roberto Clemente, a legendary Puerto Rican baseball player? No. Am I happy to say it? Yes. Is Rico Puerto Rican, so he wants to support the home team? Absolutely. Do I feel like I need to do any of those things? If this was a bad fragrance? Absolutely not. I ain't built that way. But this is a fire fragrance. I had people asking me for decants last night. I had people threatening to steal the bottle from me. Neither of those things are going to happen. But listen, if you are interested in this fragrance, I will have the link in the description. They are currently in their pre-sale window. So today is the 17th of September. On Friday, this upcoming Friday, the fragrance will be released and you can have your bottle. I believe they have samples available right now, so you can check the site for that. Again, all that will be in the description. That's really all I have for this particular fragrance. If you have any questions or any comments you want to add, you can leave it in the comment. For example, if any of my Roberto Clemente stats were off, I'm just going off of what I may have remembered. Feel free to throw it in there. If you have any questions, again, leave it in there. Any comments, go ahead. And if you like this content, let me get a thumbs up because, it helps, push the video out further to more eyes that maybe haven't seen it. And lastly, if you enjoy this kind of content, feel free to follow this page because I always do come back with more reviews, whether it's something that I have back here that I haven't hit yet or something that gets sent to me that is brand new. It all helps. So please support the channel and I'll be back with more stuff. And that's really all I have for you now. It's fragged out, swagged out, and I'm out.